Good morning, everyone. I want to have a little talk. People that know me on this channel will know that what it's about. It's about mental illness and things like that, toxic behaviour, and how to recognise the patterns and things like that. Now, there's been a few incidences. If you go back over my videos, well, I say a couple of incidences. That some toxic people have tried to come back into my life, namely my mother and an ex-boyfriend. They've tried to hoover me back in, to manipulate me for whatever reasons, and I've not taken the bait. Now, when I come home yesterday from fishing, I had a phone call. I didn't recognise the number or anything. Now, my first instinct was to think, I'm not going to answer it. I don't know the number. I'm not going to answer it. But then, brain starts kicking in. It says, oh, well, maybe my daughter's phone's buggered up and it's, she's using somebody else's phone to contact me. So, I'll answer it just in case. And on the end of the phone is this little old lady. I can't remember if she asked me what my name, if my name was Carolyn or not. I can't remember that. But she starts going on about, have you seen Dave? She's walked past his flat and all his curtains are drawn and she's a bit worried about him, and could I go and have a look to see if he's okay? And I'm trying to think my hardest. Dave? I don't think I really know a Dave around here where I live. I was thinking really long and hard, and she kept going on that she was really worried she's not seen him for a while, and could I go over or just look out my window and have a look? And I stop her and I say, excuse me, I think you've got the wrong number, love. I'm not quite sure I know who you're on about. And she says, Dave, David Southall, which is an ex-boyfriend of mine. And I said to her, I don't even know where he lives. I've not spoken to him for years. To be honest, I don't really want to speak to him. And with that, she was like, oh, okay, put the phone down. So, yeah, I was a bit sort of taken aback. Firstly, why is Dave giving somebody out my number that I don't even know? I don't even know where he lives. It's been that long. I know he's moved. But I have no idea. I have no inclination of wanting to know where he lives. And what is some old lady got my number for in an emergency? I'm not his next of kin, and there was a time where I was his next of kin. But yeah, that was back in 2018. And I stopped talking to him in 2019 when I moved into this flat. Well, it wasn't long after I moved into this flat. Probably about 4 or 5 months, and I think he sent me one message. I'd gone into my block contacts and I'd seen that that was it. I'd gone into my phone numbers, recent phone numbers, and there was a number that had come up and I didn't recognise. It was blocked. It had like a little symbol through it, so it hadn't rang, but it had come through that I'd had a call, or somebody trying to call me that I'd blocked. So, I went and had a look at the number, and in my archives of blocked numbers, it also lets me store messages that they've sent, but I don't get them through on notifications or anything. I have to go search for them. And there was a message from him. And that's when he found out that I'd had cancer, or I'd got cancer, and that was back in 2020. And, he was trying to, be all nice and that, and I know he's not got a heart, and he didn't really give a toss. It was just his opportunity to dive in there while I was at a low point in my life, which I wasn't at a low point, actually. I coped with it quite well, and I think he was quite shocked about that, because I basically told him that, I didn't want anything to do with him, and he was telling me that he'd changed and all this, and when I told him I didn't want nothing to do with him, and he turned straight back into his old self, kicking off and calling me all sorts. So it was, I saw the patterns. I knew the patterns, and he just proved the patterns. Now, I can't help thinking that he's trying to hoover me in again. I mean, I phoned his dad yesterday straight after this phone call because I am an empath. I thought, all right, well, yeah, if there is a problem there, I need to contact somebody, just to go and check on him, because I know he can be a very ill man. He's got lots of problems. I was his 24/7 nurse for a while, unpaid, of course, because that would take money from him. But yeah, that's another long story. But yeah, I phoned his dad. Told him what the phone call was about, and he turned around and said, "Well, look, I've actually just left Dave, and he's absolutely fine." Which makes it even weirder, Why would some old lady just phone me up out of the blue, pretending that Dave's in trouble and needs help? It just doesn't make sense. When you think of toxic behaviour and how toxic people think, now Dave knows that I'm a very caring person, and I did my utmost to help him along the way with all his problems that he had. Some of them I fixed, um, through the doctors and through my own sort of healing powers as well, very much so. Got him back on his feet when he was very, very poorly, he couldn't move. He couldn't look after himself at all. But he knows that I'm that sort of person. And he knew that whenever he was in trouble, all he had to do was call me and I'd be straight over. That's if I wasn't already there. It just seems to be that sort of pattern again, help. I mean, help. I need help. Come over, put me in that worrying kind of mind again. Oh, what's the problem? What's the problem? Can I help? Can I help? Which is what the empaths do, what we do. We can't help but worry about people. It doesn't matter if we don't get on with them or not. They're people, they're humans. We take on the pain. We put ourselves in that position. We can imagine what it feels like. And we want that pain to stop, not just for us, but for that person. So it stops the pain in us as well, stops us experiencing that. Even though we do experience it after the event's gone, it's it's like a PTSD type thing. It's weird. Well, for me it is anyway. So I just can't help think that it's just an attempt to hoover me back in. I mean, this is the third person now that's tried over the last few months. So I must be doing something that's getting their attention in one way or another. I don't know why. I don't know what. Well, I think I know where my mum definitely is, because I'm coming out with a lot of truths about her and how she's treated me, and how she still treats me. She her apologizing to me for it all was, "I'm sorry," and that's it. That's all I've had was 2 lines in an email. For 47 years of abuse, and I know I'm not going to get any more. And it's just an attempt to get me back into her life, to stop me talking about all the shit that she's done. And she's not going to do that. Now, as far as Paul, I think he just was trying it on again. And I have no reason, I do not know of a reason why Dave, other than that he just wants me back into his life, running around after him, being his 24-hour carer again for free, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to know the bloke. He's a horrible man. He's very angry. He's got a lot of problems. And he's violent. And I don't need that around me at all, because it makes me ill. I mean, my last suicide attempt was I think it was just before I moved in here, so it would have been I think I moved in here 2019, so it would have been the New Year's Eve 2018 that I actually tried to commit suicide, and it was partly because of him as well. Now he's tried to sort of like, my first ever Creamfields was 2018. He knew I was going. I'd actually bought the tickets before I'd started seeing him, before we started having a relationship. He didn't, well, he was too poorly to go. He seemed okay with me going, but then when I was going there, he was, he accused me of doing all sorts, because I'd gone on my own. The telephone signal there is absolutely non-existent for my network. I can't contact anybody. It's like going off grid. But there is networks like EE. I'm on GiftGaff, but EE has a brilliant signal. So he was trying to make out that, yeah, everybody else had a signal but me, so I must have been doing something bad, which wasn't the case at all, not at all. I was just there for my therapy, and it was my first ever therapy session that I was using a festival and the music to move forward. And yeah, he ruined it. He wanted to ruin that experience for me to be on a downer for as much of it as possible. I tried not to let him, but in the end I did. It got to me really bad when I got home. And I lashed out, not at him, I lashed out and smashed a mirror, punched a mirror, cut on my own hand up, But that's what I do, I self-harm. I don't take it out on other people, I take it out on myself or inanimate objects, but it still hurts me in the end anyway. But yeah, and I can't have that sort of thing back in my life. I've moved forward from that. So I really do not have an idea other than he's trying to hoover me back in. Why that would he even play out in a situation that some random woman that I've never known, that I would never know because I don't know where he lives, because we used to live on the same street. He moved in here for a little while when I moved, just after I moved in, because he had his leg amputated, and I offered him a place to stay because his house or his flat wasn't big enough for a wheelchair access. Mine's all set up. It's got light switches down and sockets up at a certain level, so it's easily accessible. I kitted my flat out for him. I basically rearranged it all around. He bought stuff from his flat to here, and then told me where he wanted everything to be. So I rearranged everything again, and I made him comfortable, but he still took the piss. He moved in under the stipulation that he was going to learn how to cope in a wheelchair, with one leg. And that was the agreement that he moved in here with. And then after a couple of days, he was running me ragged, just doing chores for him, doing this, that and the other. It was just constant, constantly up at night, looking after him with his medications and his pain and all this, so it was a 24-hour job, and he wore me down big time, and he was doing less and less and less, and it was stupid little things, like a towel on a cabinet that you just had to lean over and pick it up. He'd be like, Kaz, and I'd go in, what's that, you pass me that towel. I was like, I'd be in the middle of cooking food, or just got back from the shop and putting chopping away, or trying to arrange medications or nurses or all sorts, so he's whatever, and I'd gone and got I think it was like a couple of cream cakes, and I needed a bath. I absolutely stank. I've been sweating my tits off all day, running around like a twat, doing this, that and the other. I said, Dave, can you just get a couple of plates out, chop them up while I nip in the bath? I'll whip up the cream. And he was like, no. I said, why? I just need to have a bath. Can you just do that? I'm knackered, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. I want to go to bed. You just do that little thing. You can go in the kitchen. You made yourself a brew earlier. You can go to the toilet by yourself. Things like that. And he was like, no. Point blank, no, I'm not doing it. You're not even going to do anything to help me. He was like, no. So I'm like, fair enough. So I did what I had to do. And then when I got out of the bath, I said to him, right, well, from tomorrow, all the little bits, like washing, dressing, cooking yourself food, making yourself a brew, I'm not going to do anymore. You're going to do that yourself. I'll help you with the big stuff, you know. But when it comes to just you generally looking after yourself, your medications, your things like that, you're quite aware of what you take. You know what you're supposed to take. You've been doing it for years. It's just been because you've poorly, not been, you've been bedridden, but now you're getting your mobility back. You even got into the bath yourself and washed yourself down. I think it's time for you to start taking over everything else, except for the big stuff I will help you with. And he kicked off like mad. He blew his lid. You want me to go and fucking paint your house, this, that? Oh my god. At the top of his voice. Now, I'd only been in this flat, 3 or 4 months. And it was my therapy space. This is my flat. This is my home. And nobody has ever spoken to me like that in this flat. And I picked up my phone. I walked into the front room and phoned his dad. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I phoned his dad. I said, look, I can't cope. He's kicking off. You're going to have to come and get him. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I know I said I could, until he got his own place, but you know what he's like. He's not holding up his end of the bargain. He wants me to do everything. He said, I understand, Kaz. I've had a drink tonight. I can't come, but I'll come get in the morning. So I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. That's fine. I can cope with that. I'll pack all his stuff up. I'll have it all downstairs ready for him, for you in the morning. I'll help you pack it all into the car and whatnot. But with Dave, he's one of these, he likes getting at you, triggering your little buttons, snide little comments and shouting and things like that until you kick off, And I was having none of it because I'd gone through a lot of therapy sessions on, toxic people and how to control myself. And one of them was music. So he'd come into the bedroom. So I was packing everything in the front room in the kitchen and taking it all downstairs and everything, getting it all ready for him moving out in the morning with his dad. So I think it must have been about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was trying not to be noisy, obviously, because I didn't want to disturb him. And he came out of the bedroom and he came into the front room, and I knew he wanted to kick off. I said, right, when he first moved him, he was sleeping on the sofa because the bed was too uncomfortable for him. So I knew he was comfortable in there. So as soon as he came in the front room, I said, right, well, I finished packing in here. I finished packing all your stuff in the kitchen. You're sleeping on the sofa. I'm going to bed and packing all the stuff in there. And I come in the bedroom, shut the door, turn my music on. He left me alone. I kept packing all the stuff, and then I think I went to bed about 5 o'clock in the morning. I think about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. We woke up and whatnot. He's still in the front room. I'm sort of like trying to keep myself in the bedroom. I can hear him shouting and things like that. So I just have my music up blasting. I'm texting his dad, telling him, look, just walking the doors open. I can't help you pack. He's trying to kick off. And I'm not letting him. I'm just drowning him out with the music. So his dad understood what was going on. So obviously his dad's turned up. And I can hear them packing stuff away and things. Or his dad packing things away. And Dave comes in the bedroom. He just opens the door. I'm over the other side of the room. I don't think he sees me in there. Because his eyes are bad and my bedroom's dark anyway. And he goes to take, because my phone was plugged into my stereo through an auxiliary cable, and he goes to take the auxiliary cable out of my phone to stop the music. So I clock what he's going to do. And he's in his wheelchair at the time. So I go behind him and I pull the wheelchair back, away from the phone, away from the bed, and away from the cable. And he's an opportunist. If he sees a hole with no signs around it, he'll jump in it, break his leg, and he'll claim compensation and things like that. That's the sort of opportunist that he is. And I knew what he was going to do because he lurched forward. And I grabbed him and pulled him back onto the seat. I said, you're not doing that. And with that, his dad was coming up the stairs. So I wheel him out my bedroom. I'm like, get him out of here. And Dave's like, oh, you've pushed me out my wheelchair. You've pushed me out my wheelchair. He called the police on me, knowing full well that I have a problem with authority figures. This stems from being a child and being abused. I'm terrified of the police, especially when I'm triggered, and I was very triggered that day. So he calls the police. So I'm sort of like, I can't cope with this, Bernard. I just turn my music up, shut my bedroom door, so I don't know what's going on. So then the police turn up, and I get arrested. Now he's told the police that I've tipped him out of his chair. Now this is like 4 days after his leg amputation. I tipped him out of his chair, stood over him, and beaten the shit out of him. And then forced him to pack all his stuff and take it all downstairs. Now, first of all, I've not touched him, except for pulling him back into the chair by his shoulder, and that's all I did. He's made up this elaborate bullshit story that I've beaten the shit out of him, playing the big victim as much as possible. Oh, look at poor me, I'm a poor man that's just had his leg amputated, and this woman's just beating the shit out of me and kicked me out of the house. That's what he was making out. I mean, his dad saw everything. But obviously the police have got to, go forward with the complaint. So yeah, they come and arrest me, and I'm absolutely terrified. I'm having panic attacks in the back of the car. I'm telling the police the officers what's going on at the time, not what's gone on between me and Dave, but what's going on with me and my mental health, because I literally fell to pieces. And we get to the police station, I can't even get out of the car, I'm that terrified. And the policeman had to actually hold my hand to get me out of the car. So yeah, they're asking me all these questions and telling me what he said. And I'm laughing, and there's no marks on my hands, there's no marks on him. And they were like, yeah, no, we have recorded that there's no marks on him whatsoever. I said, well, so he says that I've kicked him out the house and I've made him carry all his stuff downstairs. So how is a 7 stone, 4'3", one-legged man going to carry massive great bin bags and a microwave down the stairs? And he was like, oh yeah, you're right. It was complete bullshit just to get me into trouble, because I couldn't cope with him and told him to leave. That is the sort of person he is, and I am not going back to that at all. Not even as a friend. My God, the shit he comes out with, it's just unbelievable. And if he thinks I'm actually gonna fall for a pity play, feel sorry for me, panic, sort of get me in a panic to go round to check on him or whatever, it's not going to happen. And I wasn't even thinking about, I wasn't even going to do this video, but it's actually been playing on my mind. So I thought, no, fuck it, I need to get out there what toxic behaviour is about, and how far people will go. Especially when they see you doing well without them, and that, I can see him actually, because he likes his dance music and that, he's just seen me posting stuff about Greenfields, and then he likes his fishing as well, and I know that he can't really do that much anymore. So he would have seen me going out on a fishing trip, so that's probably wound him up as well. So, yeah, let's make an elaborate scheme just to get into Cassie's head, and get her in a panic, and that's the sort of thing, and it's not going to work, not at all. It's a pattern, I recognised it. I might not be 100% accurate on the reasons, or, the motives or whatever, or the actual play of everything, but, it's along those lines, give and take, whatever, why would some random woman that I don't even know, from whatever road, wherever part of St. Helens that he lives in, why would she even have my number? as an emergency. Why is he giving my number out to strange random people? You know? I'm even thinking about phoning the number back and actually asking how she got my number and why has she got my number, and to delete it and never phone it again. You know, I mean, I don't really want to be scaring an old lady, but, you know, is it just somebody that he's asked to do this just to fucking get in my head, just for his own benefit, you know? So really, I shouldn't be feeling guilty about phoning back this person, but they shouldn't really have my phone in the first place. So I suppose even if I'm just doing that, I'm within my rights to ask a person to delete that number that, you know, that they shouldn't even have. But yeah, this is all the brain power that's going to be going on this, you know, because once I've done this video and posted it, that's it, you know. I may phone this number back, but if I do, I'll be blocking it straight after. I mean, I've already got his number blocked. And I mean, other than speaking to his dad and other members of his family, which are absolutely beautiful people, you know, they are really gorgeous people, like, you know, treated me so much like family, it's unbelievable. Haley and Debs and all that, they are amazing people. It's just Dave, unfortunately. Very, very toxic man. But he has been from a very early age, you know, and he's not going to change, you know. And I don't really want to be around to see if he does, you know. I've had my time with him. I helped him out as much as I could. And he just chucked it all back in my face. And yeah, he had his time and he lost it. So I've moved on. So now he's got to stay stuck or move it on just away from me. I want nothing to do with him. So Dave, if you do watch this video, please stay away. I don't want anything to do with you. Please stop giving my number out to people. They shouldn't have it. You shouldn't have it. I did ask you to delete it back in 2020. So I know you do your own thing, but, you know, if there is that little bit of tiny bit of fucking respect for me, delete it, you know. We had our time. No more, you know. Let me move on. You know, go and find somebody else. Because it's certainly not going to be me for whatever you want from me. Physical, emotional, financial, whatever. You're just not going to get it. And as far as any contact whatsoever, this is the only contact that you'll be getting from me if you do actually watch this video. I'm sure your dad will mention something about it. But yeah, don't be inclined to fucking even try bother contacting me. Like I say, your number's blocked. And the other number will be blocked as well. So yeah. Well, I've offered on for nearly half an hour about this. But yeah, it's part of what I have to do. It's part of what I've been putting into play for the last God knows how long now, with my mental health recovery. Because yeah, if my head was still at my ass, I would have been panicking and worrying, you know, running around, oh God, is he all right? You know, trying to get all of his dad and, oh, is he fine? You know, or I would have just gone straight round, without even contacting his dad, because I know his dad has problems, you know, he has back problems and things like that, you know, and I don't want to be disturbing him, you know. I probably would have gone round on my own, you know. Bad. No, that's not who I am anymore. I'm a lot stronger than that, and I ain't so fucking naive anymore. But yeah, you can try what you want, toxic people. If you want to come back into my life, you need to have grown. And I know a lot of you aren't capable of doing that. Not in this lifetime anyway. You're not capable of recognising your own faults and working on them, unfortunately, which is a big shame. And you'll never have me back in your life because of that reason, you know. You wouldn't treat me as a human being, you treat me as an object, something that can be used for your own advantage, whatever advantage that is, you know. I'm not prepared to do that anymore. I've been your scapegoat. I've been your punch bag. And it's not just you, Dave. It's a lot of others as well. Um, I've been all sorts. The list goes on, and it stopped. And there really is no point even trying. Um, try. I'm just gonna make videos like this. Poke holes in them. Poke holes in you. And just show everybody your toxic patterns. It's the best way to learn, I suppose. To put my experiences out there on what's going on in my life. It's good that it doesn't affect me as much as it used to. Yeah, it might sort of like get me head up my ass for a day or so, trying to work out what the fuck's going on. But well, maybe not even that. It's only been a few hours actually, that I started thinking on it properly. I mean, days and days and days and days and days. It would have taken me before, or even months, or even years sometimes. But now, yeah, within a few hours, I can understand what's going on, and not second guess my own thought process. I know I might not be 100% accurate on all of it, but I know there's a bloody lot of it that's accurate. The hoovering for starters, there's a reason why this phone call's been made. And it's not just because some random old lady on his street got my number and decided to phone me because she thinks he's in trouble. Because his dad's been there, his dad had seen him, why would some random old woman be so worried about Dave? Why not contact his dad? If she's that worried, why contact me? I'm just a complete stranger that she doesn't even know. That's never been around him while he's been living there. I ain't got a clue. Anyway, that's enough thought on that. I hope this has helped anyway. It's helped me get it out there. It's only when you analyse things, this deep, see things for what they really are, then you can just go, right, okay, bye, and walk forward. You're not stuck in a trap of perpetual thoughts. Oh, is it this? Is it? Oh, I'm second guessing myself. Oh, might be this, might be. That's the old thought process. Not anymore. I know how much toxic people will manipulate other people. They'll manipulate facts, just to cause as much harm as they possibly can, or just to manipulate you in any way, shape, or form. And it needs to be recognised, because as soon as you do, you can just walk away. You can see them for the toxic manipulator that they are. They don't care about your feelings at all. They just care about what they can make you do for them. And they'll work you into the grave for it, they don't care. They'll just go on to the next bloody source, just make out that, I'm so poor, feel sorry for me, I've had such a hard life. Nah, I'm not playing that anymore. And, a lot of people need to sort of like understand this, because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't recognise it. They just think their partner's a bit off today, or they didn't really mean it, or yeah, it's because of this or because of that, making excuses for them. But when you step back and you see it for what it really is, it's like, right, okay, well, I can make the right decision to walk away and get on with my life and start doing the things that I want to do to make my life better. Because when you're stuck around a toxic person, all your life is about is making their life better, in every way, shape, or form. And at the end of the day, they'll always tell you that you're not making it better, that you're making it worse, that you're a problem, putting you down for everything you do. Nothing is right. They keep moving the goalposts. You think you've just got to a level of pleasing them, and then it all goes out the window. And it's like you're back to square one, and you're sat confused, wondering what the fuck's going on. What have I done? And it's not you, it's them. It's how they're manipulating you to do things for them, to get their way, for whatever reason that they want. And I can see them manipulating it all the time, manipulating other people, manipulating the system. Oh God, manipulating their own memories, manipulating other people's memories. And I just don't want to be part of that anymore. So I am very sorry, toxic people. The only way you're getting back into my life is if you actually grow a soul. Become an empath, which, for a lot of you, it's never going to happen. For some of you, you are empaths. You just need the courage to actually embrace it. Let go of the false facade that you're this tough person, that's so hard, and and you're not. You're deep down, you're a fucking lovely person that's aching to get out. It's just that the influences around you, peer pressure, whether you'd feel vulnerable around people like that, they'd laugh at you or whatever, call you all this, that and the other. That's not what it's all about. When you're around people like that, they're the toxic people. And the only way to get your soul out is to remove yourself from those sorts of people. Because you will try and please them, and please them, and please them, and please them, and lose yourself in the process. And it would be such a shame. It really would. Always have the courage to be who you are, what your core values are. All those things that resonate with you, that you think, oh, right, yeah, that is good. I like that. That makes me feel good. That's a good value to live by, If somebody wants you to change those, then, you got to question their values. If I'm going to change my value for somebody else, or my opinion of a value, what are their values? Are they good? Are they bad? Do I agree with them? Do I not? And when you're good in the core, in the soul, your values are good. You're caring, you're kind, you're honest. The list goes on. And in this day and age, that goes a long way. There is a big shift in people caring for each other. The toxicness of just society in general. Obviously, there's a percentage on either side of toxicness and empaths. So once it's out there about the toxic behaviours and how crippling they're making this world, all the harm that they're causing, there's going to be a big shift, and it's going to pay for you to open up and be yourself and be the kind, honest person that you are, and compassionate, caring, loving. It's going to go a long way in the future, and the toxicness is going to stop. But the day that we can all be ourselves and be good and just not have to worry about what other people think, not have to worry about people trying to manipulate us to be their version of what they want us to be, we've just got to keep moving forward. And unfortunately, the only way to do that is to recognise the behaviour. So I hope this has helped, and I've waffled on for another 10 minutes, and I am very sorry. But it is an important message to get out there. And I do hope that I've sort of enlightened a few people on what to look for. Just random out the blue stuff for starters. He's got no reason to contact me whatsoever, and certainly that woman hasn't either. Anyway, I'm going to go and phone her up, tell her to delete my number. I'm not even going to ask where she's got it from. I'm just going to ask her to delete it and say goodbye and then block her number. So whether she does or not, she's not going to be able to contact me. Anyway, so thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Hello to all my newbies. Yeah, this might look a bit mad, but yeah, there's lots of things going on at the moment. Just in my own head with my mental illness and things like that. But yeah, I'm gradually getting back to normal sort of function, I suppose you could call it. I actually had a blitz of my flat tidied up a bit yesterday, so I feel a bit better for that. So I'm going to be doing some exercise videos and stuff like that soon, and more positivity videos, and yeah, maybe some more about toxic behaviour if anybody else gets in contact out of the blue. They say things happen in threes. This is the third one now, so we shall see. God, I could just imagine my fucking ex-husband want to get in contact now. No. No. God, don't want to wish that on myself. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.